Wanted to make a video about some advice that I'd give myself from 5 years ago, the young Turab. What does he need to know in order to live a more satisfying life? For more of these videos, by the way, subscribe so you can have it in your feed, so you can enjoy having some motivation in your environment. You know, I've spent a lot of time over the last year thinking about what I want to do with my life, improving my communication skills, improving my ability to accomplish tasks that matter to me. And what I've gotten out of that is a tremendous amount of opportunities that have never been available to me in the past. And I am incredibly grateful for the ability to do the things that I do and meet the people that I meet. And I can't help but think that it's so important for young people in general to get to a point in our lives where we know what we are worth in society. That comes down to taking into account what some of our mentors say about us, taking into account how we fit into our social circles, and trying to make the most out of the skills, the innate talent that we have in our lives. It takes some metacognition. It takes reading books and having long conversations. It takes listening and humility. And most of the time, all it really takes is an appreciation for what each human is worth to us and what each human is worth in some aspect to the universe. We're so small, right? When we zoom out and we look at the cosmos, our lives really don't measure up to very much, biomass-wise or spiritually. And so it's really hard to contextualize why it's even important to live a purposeful life. The thing that I always go back to is the words from Alan Watts. When I was exploring the spiritual and the rational aspects of living life more, I came across Alan Watts' videos on YouTube, and he talked about the concept of us really being the universe, that the smallest aspects of the universe are to some degree a window into the universe. And when I say a window, I really mean one window, that there are billions, that there are trillions of windows to look at our lives and the things that are happening around us. A professor in dental school that was quite the philosopher told me about data. And he said a single point of data, when approached from an infinite variety of directions, can fruit lots and lots of different conclusions. Imagine a line or a series of lines intersecting a singular point in a 3D space. This creates a phenomenal sphere if we're able to contextualize where all of those lines are coming from. But as humans, we don't have that ability. We can barely understand most of the time our own perspective, let alone try to factor in billions of others. So it goes to show that the exercise of trying to incorporate billions of other perspectives is really silly, right? We're never going to get to the point where we have all of the information. And so it becomes very, very important to value the single line, the single window that we are perceiving our universe from. And having that gratitude, having that commitment to actually believing in that window and making it as beautiful as we possibly can, that, to me, is the reason that living actually can be enjoyable. So the advice that I would give to 5 years ago Turab, who would have been in the post-baccalaureate program at Temple University, because I was never really good at school, is, dude, spend some time to relax. Spend some time to enjoy life, to have those moments, those intimate ones, and perhaps the ones that rub you the wrong way. Have experiences, as many as you possibly can, to help craft a wider picture and help understand that window that you are looking through. You know, at the end of the day, we all go to sleep and we are all in our brains for an extended period of time. We all, to some degree, wake up alone in our lives. And daily, we experience a waking up, almost being born again. In order for us to use that potential inside of us, we need to understand what it is that really makes life fun for us to live. And for me, that's always been creating things. It's part of the reason that I'm making these videos. It's also part of the reason that I build businesses and help set up systems and operations for other people that are looking for creative spirits that actually have execution skills as well. It's part of the reason that I continue to paint and drum and create music in spite of being incredibly busy and working on a lot of different things that I'm relied on for. I say all of these things as hopefully context that this is one human life. This is my human life. And I need to feel that I am satisfied with what I am doing in the moments, in the days, and in the weeks. That's different for all of us. And that we have the right for it to be different for all of us. I don't advocate for filling up your schedule to the point where you don't have space to breathe. I wouldn't advocate for doing things that seem completely out of your realm of interest. I advocate very strongly for trying to meet as many like-minded people as you can. Not to create an echo chamber of your thoughts, your philosophy, but as a way to strengthen the thoughts and philosophies, as a way to commit to a certain way of looking, a certain window of looking at life and the universe. It comes down to having a curiosity for the beauties that are available for us to observe in the world. Really, none of us is guaranteed 60 years, 80-year life. We're not guaranteed anything, frankly. And it falls upon our shoulders to say to ourselves, how much risk are we willing to take versus how much comfort we want to have in our lives? Now, these questions are really, really hard to answer at any stage of life. But I would spend that extra time 5 years ago to craft and sit down and really listen to my thoughts, the things that I want to accomplish. Even now, as I am busy and the CEO of multiple companies, I think to myself, wow, I wish I had a day to reflect. I wish I had a day to plan. Creating that time is essential. And when we are young, oftentimes we have an excess of time. But we spend it scrolling, we spend it distracted, rather than perhaps going for a walk in the woods with our phone off. Bill Gates spends 2 weeks out of every 6 months to get completely away from the companies that he's building, to get that perspective, but also to give himself the love and the freedom that allows him to live a satisfying life. My friend, if you are there now, if you are someone that is looking really to increase satisfaction in life, I recommend being very, very grateful for what you have right now. I recommend reflecting on the things that you have experienced in the past that have genuinely moved you. Use those experiences and that gratitude to form a vision of the future that you can believe in the hardest of times and in the most beautiful of times. Listen, if you made it to this point in the video, smash that subscribe button. I am going to constantly be improving and hopefully inspiring all of the people watching, along with myself, on living that satisfying life. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Take care of yourself. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.